Welcome to Seven Consulting's Delivery Playbook, where we share the powerful concepts that make Seven Consulting Australia's best program delivery company. In this session, we are talking with Rob Thomsett, Seven's thought leader.
Hi Simone, great to be here. Today, we're diving deep into something that frankly causes a lot of headaches in project management: benefits planning and realisation. It's often the most frustrating, sometimes the most controversial part of delivering change.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this framework we're discussing, its core intellectual property we use right here at Seven Consulting, developed over years of practice.
That's right, helping us be Australia's best program delivery partner.
What we have learnt, Simone, is that addressing benefits management and realisation changes the whole game for project management and governance.
Because for decades, benefits, well, they've been treated like an add-on, haven't they?
Totally, like something you sort of bolt on at the end or maybe think about later.
Or delegate to someone junior after the real decisions are made.
Right, after the scope is locked in. Even the big players like PMI, they've only recently put out a dedicated standard on it.
Which tells you something, doesn't it? It's been overdue. So today, we're going to clarify how we integrate this properly using our framework.
Making it foundational.
Exactly, not the footnote.
Yeah, our mission today is pretty clear, I think. We want to shift your thinking.
How so?
Move away from seeing projects as just, delivering stuff, scope.
Yeah, outputs.
Right? And towards seeing projects as the entire reason for beneficial change. They're the vehicle for value.
No benefit and no point to the project.
Pretty much. Projects are kind of meaningless unless they deliver tangible, measurable value.
Okay, let's unpack that. Where do we start?
You mentioned principles.
Yes, foundational principles, non-negotiable ones.
Our sources lay out 4 critical ones, and I have to say I love the first 2 because they just cut through so much abstract fluff.
They really do. Principle 1 is, well, it's incredibly simple but so often ignored. If you can't measure it, you can't claim it.
Period. Full stop.
Exactly, no wiggle room.
We see this constantly, don't we? Someone claims improved customer satisfaction, but there's no track, no baseline data from before the project, no plan to measure after.
Then you simply cannot use that to justify spending money. It's wishful thinking, an aspiration.
Not a benefit, and that flows straight into principle 2, which sometimes gets a bit of pushback.
Oh, I know this one. No soft or intangible benefits.
That's the one. Terms like improved staff morale or better market image, still so common in business cases.
They are, but think about it. Is market image really soft?
Not when your reputation tanks and the revenue dries up.
Precisely. Or morale. Low morale hits productivity, quality, turnover. Those are hard costs.
So we need to find the measurable outcome those soft terms are really pointing towards.
You got it. Find the hard link. A bank analogy is perfect, isn't it?
It really is. Imagine walking into a bank asking for $1 million for intangible goodwill improvement.
They'd laugh you out of the building.
Of course, yet that same bank's board might approve a $10 million internal project based purely on those exact kinds of vague, soft benefits.
It's a massive double standard. We have to eliminate that hypocrisy.
Financial discipline. It has to apply internally just as much as externally.
Absolutely. Which brings us neatly to principle 3.
Benefits require the same planning intensity as project planning, so they're not separate, not something done on the side by the benefits person.
No, they have to be completely integrated. The same rigor you apply to scope, schedule, budget.
Needs to apply to defining, tracking and measuring the value.
Exactly the same focus. Okay, makes sense. And number 4.
Principle 4 tackles that finger pointing that happens when things go wrong.
The blame game.
Right, it states benefits management is a partnership, so it's not just the project manager's responsibility to make sure the benefits happen after the project's finished. That's a common myth, but it's false. The PM delivers the output, the capability. Realising the outcome requires active partnership.
Between who?
The sponsor, the PM and their team during delivery, and crucially, the benefit owners in the business, the people who will actually use the thing the project delivers.
Got it. Everyone has skin in the game.
They have to. And that idea of integration and partnership leads directly to how we start identifying these benefits.
Where does that conversation begin between the sponsor, PM, and the benefit owner?
It starts with the O3 model. As you remember, we covered the O3 model in our first podcast.
Objective, output, outcome.
Exactly. The objective is the why, the reason for the change, which must be beneficial. The output is the thing the project delivers. The outcome is the result, the change achieved by using the output.
And that O3 linkage forms the basis for finding the benefits.
It does. It connects the strategic intent to the tangible delivery and then to the ultimate value. It also introduces a fundamental difference between how Seven Consulting views planning for and their subsequent realisation. Simply, there are two benefit streams for any project.
Okay, so we've got our O3 defined. Now the actual benefit scan, how does that work? You mentioned two streams.
Yes, always think in terms of two distinct benefit streams for any project, always.
Okay, what are they?
First, benefits tied directly to the outputs being delivered. The new system, the new process, the physical thing.
Things you get pretty much as soon as the project delivers them.
Generally, yes. And second, benefits tied to the overall outcome being achieved, the bigger picture change.
Which might take longer to materialise, right? Months or even years later.
Often, yes. And understanding these two streams is vital because it tells you who owns which part of the realisation plan, which we'll get to.
Right, but first, how do we classify what we find in this scan? Just listing benefits isn't enough, is it?
No, you need structure. We use 6 distinct benefit classes. This gives clarity for everyone, sponsors, auditors, the team.
6 classes. Okay, let's break them down. Financial ones first. They usually get the most attention.
There are 4 financial classes. Number 1, increased revenue.
Pretty straightforward. New product, new customers leads to more money coming in.
Correct, but crucially it has to be new revenue demonstrably linked to the project, not just the business growing as usual.
Got it. Number 2?
Retain revenue. This one's often missed, but so important.
Keeping the money you already have.
Exactly. Preventing customer churn or revenue loss that would have happened if you'd done nothing. If your old system was driving customers away, fixing it retains that revenue. That's a real financial benefit.
Makes sense. Okay, number 3?
Reduce costs. This is usually easier to grasp. Measurable reduction in operational costs.
Like automating a manual process, needing fewer people, reducing errors.
Perfect examples. Going from needing 10 staff down to 5 for a task. Clear cost saving.
Okay, now for the tricky one. Number 4.
Yes. Avoid cost. This one always sparks debate.
Preventing future costs like not having to hire those extra 5 people because the new system made everyone more efficient.
That's a classic example. In effect, it is monetizing efficiency gains. Another common example is avoiding fines, penalties, because you become compliant thanks to the project.
But wait a sec, isn't avoid cost? Well, isn't it just a fancy name for those soft benefits we said to avoid? How do you measure something that didn't happen? It sounds a bit vague.
That's a really fair challenge, and it's why some accountants get twitchy about it. But the difference lies in quantification and the mechanism. When we talk about avoiding hiring 5 people, that was likely a planned, budgeted cost the business expected to incur. By implementing the project, you prevent that expenditure. Now, it doesn't reduce your current operating cost baseline. That's true.
So it doesn't look like a direct saving on the P&L sometimes.
Not always directly on the OPEX line, but it absolutely changes your return on equity, your ROE.
How so? Explain that link.
Well, think about it. You're now generating the same level of output, maybe more, serving the same customers, but without increasing your cost base as planned.
Your efficiency goes up.
Massively. You're getting a better return on the capital invested in the business because your costs didn't rise as projected. That's a very hard financial metric impacting shareholder value.
Okay, linking avoided cost to ROE through that efficiency game, that makes it defensible. That's a key takeaway.
It really is. That's how you make it stick. So those are the 4 financial classes.
What about the other 2, the non-financial ones?
Right. 2 non-financial classes, but remember principle 1 still applies. They must be measured.
No free passes.
Correct. No free passes. Number 5 is improvement of service.
How customers or internal users perceive things are better.
Exactly. A website is easier to navigate. You can measure that with usability scores or task completion times. Faster response times from a service desk, measure the time.
Tangible improvements in the user experience. And the last one, number 6?
Maintain service. Similar logic to retain revenue. This is about preventing a decline.
Keeping things from getting worse.
Precisely. Maybe service levels were acceptable, but were projected to fall below a required standard, regulatory or customer tolerance. If you didn't act, the project prevents that degradation.
Okay, so 6 clear classes: increase revenue, retain revenue, reduce cost, avoid cost, improve service, maintain service.
That's the framework.
So we've got our O3. We've scanned for benefits using these classes. Now we need a plan, right? The benefit realisation plan.
Yes, and we keep it practical. We ask 4 key questions for every single benefit we identified.
4 questions?
Simple but powerful. Who has to do what by when, and how is it going to be measured?
Who, what, when, how, measured. Repeat for every benefit.
For every output benefit and for the overall outcome benefit. This structured approach naturally leads to 2 distinct plans.
Aligning with the 2 benefit streams you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. This is where that distinction becomes really practical and where the partnership model, principle 4, kicks in.
Okay, plan number 1.
The output benefit realisation plan. This focuses on activities that happen during the project while the project team is still active, because the benefits linked to the outputs of the things being delivered should ideally start accruing as soon as they go live.
So the PM needs to make sure measurement is ready.
Absolutely. The PM works with the benefit owners during the project to get measurement systems in place before go live. You don't wait and hope for data. You plan to capture it from day 1 of the output being live.
Proactive measurement setup. Yeah, got it. And plan 2.
The outcome benefit realisation plan. This focuses on what happens after the project is formally closed, after the post-implementation review.
So this one isn't owned by the PM?
No, typically this is owned by the benefit owner in the business. Their plan details how they will take the output the project delivered.
The new system, the new process?
And actively use it to drive that longer-term outcome and its associated benefits, like the retained revenue or the cost reduction we classified earlier. This plan might run for years.
Long after the project team has moved on. 2 plans, different owners, different timings, clear.
Makes the responsibilities much clearer.
Now let's get a bit more strategic. Delivering is one thing, but making sure the value sticks, that involves risk, doesn't it?
Huge risk. We need to explicitly consider benefit realisation risk.
Which is different from normal project delivery risk, like missing a deadline.
Totally different. It's also different from, say, production support risk, like the system crashing. Benefit realisation risk specifically assesses the risk of converting the delivered output into the intended outcome.
The risk that people won't actually use the new thing correctly, or that using it won't lead to the expected result.
Precisely. Let's take an example. If you roll out a new system and literally decommission all the old ways of working, forces adoption.
Like replacing all old desktops, no choice.
The risk of converting that output, new desktops, into the outcome, everyone using the new system, is very low. Adoption is guaranteed.
Okay, but now imagine launching a complex new sales tool into 1,000 branches. You need to train thousands of staff who are already busy and may be resistant to change.
Dealing with 5 other initiatives.
Exactly. The risk that the output, the tool, actually achieves the outcome, say increased sales conversion, could be very high, maybe only 30% likely.
And the sponsor needs to know that up front, not just the delivery risk. They need to understand the odds of actually getting the financial return they signed up for. Benefit realisation risk gives them that visibility.
That feels like it ties directly into change management.
It does. This high-risk scenario begs the question, why is change management so critical, and why do benefits often just fade away after launch?
Fade away? What do you mean?
Well, most organisations focus change management efforts just before go live and maybe for a short period after. Get everyone trained, handle initial issues.
Typical hypercare period.
Right, but the data our sources show indicates that benefits often start to significantly drop off around 6 months later.
6 months. Why then?
We call it the 6-month slump. People get overloaded, they forget the training, they revert to old comfortable habits. Maybe key staff leave and new ones aren't trained properly on the new way.
So the shiny new output isn't being used effectively anymore.
Exactly. The tool might be great, the process might be sound, but the sustained adoption required to achieve the outcome falters.
Which means you need ongoing change management, not just a launch campaign.
You need change sustainment focused on ensuring that output continues to be used correctly to drive the outcome long after the project team is gone.
Okay, risk and sustained change. What else is key for this strategic view?
Understanding the time horizon of the benefit. How long will it realistically last? This is crucial for actually monetizing the plan and calculating the project's true worth. We use 3 benefit curves.
3 curves. Okay, what's the first type?
The recurring benefit curve. This is your classic steady benefit. Think operational cost reductions or a consistent gradual increase in efficiency or sales.
Like a stepped increase that stays fairly level over time.
Exactly. Because it's stable and ongoing, this type of benefit justifies using longer calculation periods in your financial model, maybe 5, even 10 years.
Makes sense. Curve number 2?
The first to market curve. This is really common now, especially in tech or competitive markets.
You get a big jump initially.
Massive jump. You launch something innovative, gain a huge advantage, revenue spikes, but then competitors catch up fast.
So the benefit peaks quickly and then drops off.
That advantage might only last a year or 2 before the market adjusts. So for this curve, calculating the value over 5 years would be totally misleading. The value is heavily front-loaded.
You need a shorter time horizon in the business case.
Absolutely. Be realistic about how long that peak lasts.
And the third curve?
The strategic curve. This one takes real guts from a sponsor.
Why is that?
Because the benefit curve might be flat or even slightly negative for several years, maybe 3-4 years minimum.
No immediate payoff?
None or very little. But then, if the strategy works, it spikes dramatically later on.
Can you give an example?
The classic one is Amazon under Jeff Bezos in the early days. For years, almost a decade, they reinvested practically all revenue back into infrastructure, logistics, growth.
Showing little or no profit?
Right, the benefit curve was flat from a profit perspective, but they were making a huge strategic bet that this investment would lead to massive exponential benefits later, which it clearly did.
So that requires real long-term vision and tolerance for delayed gratification.
Immense courage and conviction in the strategy.
Okay, 3 curves: recurring, first to market, strategic. Understanding which applies is key to valuing the project correctly. It's fundamental to an honest business case. And speaking of fundamentals, we have to loop back to principle 1, one last time.
Measurement.
Baselining up front. The absolute worst time to figure out how you're going to measure success is when the output is already live.
Scrambling for data after the fact.
It never works well. You must collect that baseline data before the project changes anything.
So you have a concrete starting point to compare against.
Exactly. Know that customer satisfaction was a 3 out of 5 before you launched the new product, so you can definitively prove you reached the target of 5 out of 5.
Measure before, measure after seems obvious but easily missed, critically missed, and that measurement needs to be institutionalized.
Meaning?
Benefits tracking needs the same discipline as tracking time, cost, and scope. It shouldn't be an afterthought in reporting.
So steering committee reports should include benefit status?
Absolutely. Are the assumptions still valid? Has a key benefit owner left the company? Have market conditions changed, making the original benefit calculation obsolete?
You need to know if the promised value is evaporating during the project, not just find out afterwards.
Precisely. Tracking benefits is the only way to prove that the huge investment in program delivery is actually achieving its purpose.
Which is?
Beneficial change, real measurable value.
Fantastic. This has been a really thorough look at benefits planning and realisation, drawing directly from the IP and methods we've refined here at 7 Consulting.
It's core to how we approach delivery.
Key takeaways for me are integrate the planning, baseline everything up front, get rid of those vague, soft benefits, understand the two plans for outputs and outcomes, and manage that realisation risk.
And the partnership. Don't forget the partnership.
That's critical. It's a team effort.
Definitely. And look, if these concepts resonate with you, if you're thinking about your own program delivery, PMO, or change management challenges, we really encourage you to get in touch with us here at Seven Consulting. You can find us easily via our website, sevenconsulting.com, or on LinkedIn.
Please do reach out. We are committed to sharing our unique, innovative ideas like these, techniques that go beyond the standard project or change management textbooks. We're releasing a new podcast like this every 2 weeks, so please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out.
And in our very next one, we'll be tackling a topic that came up right here today, building a change management function that can actually tackle that 6-month slump and sustain value. Really important follow on from this.
Definitely one not to miss. We look forward to having you join us again soon.